Hi, welcome to the video. In this video, that is the last part, that is tutorial number 15, we are going to talk about generic API view. What is generic API view? Generic API view allows you to display static data. So the data that does not come from the database, that is basically your generic views. Let us learn how to create one quickly. So in order to create generic API view, you should have a serializer, a generic serializer. So I'm going to create one. Let's create a class called dummy serializer, right? And this will be inheriting from serializer dot serializer, not the model serializer. Now let us define our dummy variable data. So this will be serializer dot dict fill. Basically, I'm gonna show you the dictionary. That's it. Your dummy serializer is ready. Now let us define our dummy views. Let us define the views class person dummy views. This will basically inherit from generics dot generic API view, right? Now we will give our serializer object, that is serializer class is equal to dummy, but we did not import that. So from dot serializer import dummy serializer. Let's pass dummy serializer here. Let us define our get request, the dummy get, which is gonna basically get the static data. So I'm gonna say, right, this is my static data. Now basically you have to call the dummy serializer. So remember serializer, right? You would say is equal to call that dummy serializer that you just created, dummy serializer, and pass in the data that you want to pass, your static data. This data variable should match with the dummy serializer, otherwise you get errors. So this data should match with this data. All right, let's define that. Let's write message, that's our JSON data. Let's return the response. Return response, and we'll say serializer.data. That's it. Now let us test it out. Before testing, we need to add a URL to test it. Copy, paste. Let's say if anyone goes to stats/, right? Now let's add that in the URLs. Right? So hopefully this should work, but it won't work because the URLs, you did not change this. So what was that? Person dummy views, right? Now let's go to the website. I'm gonna go to the home website, hit the refresh button. So my server is not started yet. Now let's try the refresh. All right, now let's go to the stats. And you should see your dummy data. Oops, something blowed up. What blowed up? Let's find out. So seeing at this response, get response request, right? Handler request asks quarks, type error takes 1. So, all right, I got my mistake. So it was simple. I forgot the request. All right, let's try to run the server again. The server is restarting now. Let's try to go to the same URL, hit enter, and here you see some static data. So this is how you use generic views to display static data. Thank you for watching. This would be the end of the tutorial series. From next onwards, we'll be using Django as a backend and Angular as a front end. So once again, thank you for watching.